Thank you very much for inviting me and for your attention at the moment. It's an honor. Trust that I will meet with the quality that we've already heard. I don't know how long you have been here. I've been here 11 years. My husband and I came here about 11 years ago. And there's still much about Germany that I am learning about living, that the lifestyle is here. It's been an incredibly great adventure, most of it good, and occasionally challenging, as all good adventures should be. The story I want to talk about tonight is one of the adventures, one of the challenges. I want to say that like a year ago next week, sometime next week, I've sort of been spacing out exact date, but I did write it down on my calendar. 1 year ago is the day that I started having problems sleeping. Now, my husband was out of town. He's doing one of his business trips. He was up in England at the time, so he was not going to hop onto a Deutsche Bahn or a Austrian train to help me sort this out. I was on my own, minding my own business, having a perfectly fine time. My nose started to run, and I thought, well, whatever, noses run. And then a few hours later, my chest started getting kind of tight, but okay, fine. I don't know about you guys. One of my most favorite health problem management techniques is to ignore it. You know, if it's really serious, I'll give my attention. But in the meantime, we can pretend it's not really happening. But I realized that I was having trouble walking down the hallway in my apartment. I didn't have enough breath to make it that whole, 10 feet? What is that, 9 meters? So I had no idea. I told you I was still learning how to be again. I do know that whatever that distance was, I wasn't making it. And I was going to have to do something about that, which was definitely a problem for me because, for me at that particular moment in time, doing something about it would involve calling the German health authorities. Like, okay, first of all, you've got to get on the phone and speak in German maybe. And I'll figure out what is the 112 phone number. Even that part is hard because, you don't want to be a problem child. You don't want to be like a drama queen. You don't want to bother people. You don't want the whole shenanigan things. Did I really have to do this? But I had no choice. It was just me. It's one of the joys, I think, or challenges of this temporary immigrant life is that we have friends, but sometimes they're superficial or sometimes they're transitory. And sometimes you just think, well, he's up there in England and I'm not breathing too good. All right, fine, we'll do this. We suck it up and got out my telephone and put in that 112 number and go through that traditional conversation we all have, which is which language are we going to speak in. And we established that English was indeed a good choice or a good enough choice. And I said, so I'm having this problem with this breathing and I think I should go to the hospital. And the guy on the phone asks me, are you dying? I was not expecting an existential question at this moment in the conversation. Yeah, but I don't know. I wanted to sit there on the phone with him and say, I don't know, why don't you send somebody over here and we'll both find out. But sarcasm wasn't necessarily, I didn't think sarcasm was necessarily my best technique at that moment in time. I didn't know what the criteria was. What is the criteria for how dying do you need to be dying in order to get somebody to come over and help you out here in Germany? I don't know. I was the conversation. I said, yeah, I cut my artery open. I'm only down a pint of blood. I think I'll call you back when it's closer to 3 pints. And he kept asking me this question. He says, are you dying? And I kept going, yeah, some matters. some manner of speaking, we are all dying. From the moment we were born, we are all dying. I'm 65 years old. I'm hoping for another 20 years, and more would be fine. That's roughly 7,500 days. So, that's fewer than what I started with. So, was that going to get this to go? And he kept saying, "Are you dying?" And I kept not knowing how to answer the question. I kept going and he started to there's this thing in his voice where he sounded like he was starting to get kind of exasperated, "Come on, sister, you know the secret password. All you have to do is just say what it is, and then I can get you the mercy." I mean, I could imagine this thing going on in his head, but he's going, are you dying? And later on, when I was talking about this situation to my house doctor, he said, "Yes, that is the answer. You are dying. It doesn't matter why you're calling for medical help. When they ask you, are you dying, you say, yes. I don't care if there's a splinter going up your thumbnail. The answer is yes." But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know what would happen if I said, yes, I think I might be dying, and then they came and they checked me out and, hooked up all of the medical things that they will hook you up to, and then they say, "Oh, you're not actually dying. Forget about it." But they go, "By the way, here's your bill for," I come from the United States, okay? You can go broke with the medical system, so you touch it very, very carefully. And so, I didn't want to be left with, here's a medical bill for a couple of $1,000s for us to tell you that you're not in fact dying, and oh, by the way, if you want to go to the hospital, good luck, we're not going to take you. I didn't want that conversation to happen, and I didn't know what else to do. So I finally said, I hung up the phone. And I sat there and thought, okay. It turns out God gave us the bird on the telephone, so we don't really have to have a German conversation. And I did manage to kind of crawl my way over to the elevator, get downstairs, crawl my way out to the driveway, crawl my way into the car, go in over to White's Hospital, crawl out, kind of get across the sidewalk. And I don't know if you know White's Hospital, but they have steps going up to the front. It's very lovely, it's very gorgeous. And I'm totally fucked. I'm sitting there, I sat down on the bottom step because I had no idea how I was going to get up that set of stairs. And then what happened was what I called one of those Munich miracle moments where you think, no one ever sees you in Munich, where everybody just kind of walks past you, you're all very quiet with each other, and so on and so forth. But trip over a cobblestone and 20 people are going to be picking you up off the ground before you even get a chance to dance. That people actually see you a lot here in the city. They see you on the bus. They see whatever is going on with you. We are always scanning for each other and what's happening. And I was sitting there on this bottom step going, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And this woman walking past me looked over at me and she asked me a question. Do you need help? And that was a question I could answer. So she went up the stairs, she got someone to come downstairs, that person looked at me and went, went back upstairs, got a wheelchair, got me in the wheelchair, pushed me up to the emergency room, where do you guess what? They keep the air. And then they decided to go ahead and put me up into the ICU unit, where it turns out the reason why I went into the ICU unit wasn't necessarily because I was still dying, but it was where they kept the really great air machines that they had invented for the COVID. And so I didn't have to be intubated. And so they could just help sustain me, and then they gave me a lot of drugs, and they kind of stabilized me. And so about a week later, I was able to walk down those steps on my own energy and wander back home again with my husband freshly returned from the United Kingdom. It was a confusing time. There's 7 days, sometimes stuff was happening. I do want to tell you, it was not COVID that got me, so far as I know, according to official medical things, it was that I have a heart rate that's unstable. And I had started to go into congestive heart failure, and I started to develop fluid in your lungs, so apparently I was actually drowning, which I still don't know if that qualifies for dying or not. I am pleased to be able to tell you that I'm perfectly fine right now. That I have a perfectly great heart rate, I have a perfectly great ability to walk 2 flights of stairs that come up to here. So it got put back together. I had some more medical stuff in January and February to do that part, to do that process. So that's the good news, I'm fine. But there was just this really important thing that I learned, which is just say yes. Whatever is the question, whatever it is that people are trying to say, are you dying? Especially when you're talking to the German medical system. There's a secret here. I don't know why it's a secret. I don't know why this culture decides that they won't send you an ambulance unless you are actually somehow willing to either be dying or lie about dying. I don't understand that piece at all. But I want to tell everybody here, there is a secret password. Yes. Yes, I am dying. Yes, I need help. Yes, I am still breathing. Yes, I am still alive. Yes, the sun still rises. Yes, so does the moon. Yes, we are still here together. Yes, there will be a day when we won't. But yes, we are here now. And yes, we see each other. So go and tell the others. Here's the secret password. Just say yes.
Yes.
Yes.